everybody, and welcome to Heart of New York TV. I'm Angela Hart. Today we have people with us from Wagner College, and I'm going to let each of the guests introduce themselves to you and tell you a little bit about what they do at the college, and then we're going to discuss each of the various programs that the college offers. Really great programs for kids and youth and adults. Everything's going on at Wagner College. So please, I'll introduce first my guest on my left. Please introduce yourself to the viewers and let them know what you do there.
Hi, thank you for having us, Angela. My name is Sharon Ginta. I'm the director for Wagner College, Department for Lifelong Learning, and we're very happy to be here today.
Thank you. And you?
My name is Kira Dash, and I am the Assistant Conference Director for Wagner College.
Terrific. And you?
Hi, I'm Chris Ladow, and I'm actually the Program Manager for the department.
Great. We want to learn more about that. And you?
My name is Caitlin Miller, and I am the Assistant Director. I work a lot with the children's programs as well.
So there's so much going on at Wagner. I thought maybe we would first talk to Sharon about some of the college courses for adults and the different curriculum that you offer.
Well, sure, Angela. We do a number of different programs. Our mission is that we service the community. We have programs that start with children as young as 4 years old, all the way up to 104 years old. So there's really a program for everyone. Our goal is to be able to provide programming for the community. To start off with, we have adult continuing education programs, and that focuses more on providing adults with an opportunity to take classes that will either enrich or improve on their current skills, or possibly teach them a new skill. Perhaps someone's returning to the workforce after being out of the workforce, a mom returning to the workforce, wanting to brush up on new skills. So there's quite a number of adult continuing ed programs that we do offer. The primary areas are business, legal, healthcare, and personal enrichment for the adults.
Wow. Do you have any courses that offer credits for continuing ed, such as in real estate or medical licenses that require that?
Not on the lifelong learning side. We do offer credit courses, something pretty new. We're offering credit courses to high school students. So in the past, high school students would not be able to transfer any credits unless they took the courses on campus. Starting about 2 or 3 years ago, we started with a summer pre-college program. We're very excited about that program. It was open to students across the country, and the students were able to come, live on campus, learn about the Wagner Plan, which they were here for 3 weeks as a residential student. They had an option of taking 1 or 2 courses. We've recently expanded that program, and now we're offering this past semester in the spring, we're offering credit classes to local high school students. And so they're able to come on campus, take courses, actually get credit for it, a transcript, and be able to transfer that into either Wagner if they ultimately decide to come to Wagner, or to any other similar colleges or universities.
Wow. Do you know which were the most popular courses for them, or it went across the board?
Well, this semester we started off offering only 2 courses. One was in music technology, and the other was an introduction to theater. And the reason we chose those 2 courses, we worked with a local high school, was because Wagner was the #1 theater program in the country, so it was incumbent upon us to want to offer something that we thought students would be interested in and what our specialties were. And music technology, we started off with a new programming, a software program that the music technology teacher was excited to introduce to these students. So that was just a small beginning. We've got 5 different courses lined up for the coming fall semester.
Would you like to share them, or are they still in the workings?
They're pretty much in the workings. I think I can confirm that we've got 2 different art classes. We are offering another intro to theater class, the music technology class. We wanted to repeat those again. And then the newest one is college band. We're giving high school students an opportunity to audition for the college band, so the students will actually have an opportunity to play with the college students, do concerts. I think they talked about possibly 2 concerts per semester. So we're very excited about that. And the auditions are coming up. There's actually one scheduled for the coming week, I believe. I'm not sure of the date, but another one early June. And all of that information is on our website.
I'm so impressed that the college is so technologically advanced. I don't know if all the colleges have gotten to this level where it's filtering down into music even. So I'm very impressed with that. I'd like to come back to you in a little while. Kira, tell us a little bit about what you do with the college and some of the information you'd like to share with the viewers.
Sure, thank you. My job mainly is to offer all the space that we have at Wagner for conferences. I've had clients up there. We've had our campus is beautiful. Anybody who's been up to Wagner has to admit that. So it's just it's a good setting for any type of meeting or event that you're going to have. I've had clients from the municipal sector, the private sector. We've had all types of groups that come up. They rent our classrooms, but we also have large lecture halls. We have beautiful spaces that overlook the harbor. I have a pool. We have a pool. We have a lot of athletic facilities. The theater itself I've also rented to different, or even some community groups have come and used our theater. So it's a good place to come if you're going to have a conference.
And have there been any nonprofit organizations who have used your facilities? And if so, could you share who they might be?
We do have different groups that do come from the nonprofit sector. Offhand, I can't think of some of the clients we've had, but different city groups have come.
Wonderful. So you've got them from all ages. You've got a pool, which I didn't know about, and you also have bay views or ocean views. What did you say?
We do. We have harbor views, which are absolutely beautiful, and a beautiful backdrop for an event.
Right, and a beautiful view of the Verrazano Bridge as well.
Yes.
Do you have these pictures on your website?
We do, and if you go on our website, you can see all our conference spaces as well.
That's great. Terrific. And share a little bit, Crystal, about what you do on the campus.
So as the program manager, I have a very diverse set of jobs. One of the main things that I do and I love to do is run all the film and commercial shoots on campus. So I actually do a lot of media relations with them. I work with their location manager, and I set up everything that they need, from where they're going to be, where their holding's going to be, to even something as small as their parking situation. So something that I love to do. We actually have had a couple of great movies come in very recently. They're actually just coming out probably in the next couple months. One of them was directed by Joel Moore. He was actually in Avatar. He did a movie called Euthanasia. Oh no, actually it's called Youth in Oregon. It was actually about euthanasia.
Wow. Right.
It's actually a really nice movie. And another one is actually by Staten Island local, the RZA. He actually filmed a movie called Coco here. And actually just recently, last week, we shot a commercial for Pepsi. So.
Wow, so the campus has a lot of action going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you get into the media department, the media end?
From the media, and I actually used to work in advertising, and kind of just spilled over there. I fell in love with working with higher education, and I wanted to work in an environment, and kind of just found Wagner College and worked from there.
So if somebody wants to film a commercial on the site, on the college campus, they should contact you?
Yes.
And
And then we walked through the whole way together. So from setting up everything that they would need to the end, making sure they clean up everything, everything they had on the campus. So
Excellent. And Caitlin, tell us
Yes,
a little bit about the
I handle
programs.
a lot of the enrollment for the children's programs. So running from the summer camps to our after-school programs, doing all the enrollment. I'm actually a summer camp director.
Tell us about each individual program. Take a minute and describe each one, who comes to them and what's taught there and what the viewers would like to know about in case they'd like to consider attending.
I would say the one that's most popular is our children's theater program. It's called the ACT at Wagner College. We actually have, if anyone's interested, June 10th, 11th, and 12th. They do a performance on the main stage theater. We're doing Beauty and the Beast this year. It's directed local woman. Her name is Solange Bila. She's been in the theater industry in Staten Island for many years. Children of ages 6 to 17 are the actors. And that's probably, I said, our most popular, with about 50 students in that program. We also have a very popular robotics program. They don't unfortunately travel to compete, but they do some of the team building exercises, and they get to program their own robot as well.
Tell the viewers who are a little less sophisticated about this topic, such as myself, what do you mean a robotics program?
So it is with Lego. They use the Legos to create the body of the robot, and then the different appendages that the robot has. And they then use, it's almost the size of an iPod. They program that computer to do different tasks, such as pick up an oil barrel, and they're small toy products. To pick up those items, move it to another location, then they compete against the other students in the program. Whoever gets more points at the end, they are the winner. So it's basically a robotics part.
So that falls under the STEM.
Yes, that's what we're really focusing on, STEM. We also have a children's science class that is more the theory and the application of the traditional science programs. But yes, also computer classes, so a lot of STEM programs that we're starting to promote.
Tell us, are there some more that you can tell us about, some more of the courses?
For the children, again, with our summer camps, we do have art classes as well.
And what type of, is it sculpture or clay?
Yeah,
or
ceramics. It's really popular because we're one of the few working kilns on Staten Island. So we have a ceramics program that they do. Coil, local artist Janice Patrignani, she actually does a lot of the classes for us. She does coil. We don't do too much wheel, but coil, slab. They get to glaze the pieces, they get to fire the pieces, and they actually get to take home their own piece of pottery.
When you say coil, I'm familiar with that, but share with the viewers what you mean.
So they roll the clay into a, I guess, coil type piece, and then they layer it so that it makes a pot or a plate they can actually use as well. So,
How big is the kiln that it gets fired in? Would you guess,
probably
approximately?
about an oil barrel. I don't know the size of it in particular, but about the size of an oil barrel, I would say. Different shelves in it.
So what age range are the children that are doing this?
We usually go between about 9 and 14. Too much younger than 9, they're a little bit too small for being able to work with the table and the tools.
So when does summer camp start?
Our first week is actually the week of July 4th, that Tuesday. So we go from July 5th until middle of August, usually. August, I think, 19th, I want to say.
Do you have any more openings for the summer camp?
Oh, definitely. Still open. We take enrollment usually up until about a week before the program begins.
What do you call, is there a special name for the program? Like
Just
Eagles?
summer camps. No, Wagner
Wagner
College
summer-
summer camps, yeah.
That's excellent. So in addition to the summer camps, is there another area that you manage there?
I work a little bit more closely with the actual college events on campus, as Kira does some of the external events. I do help with some of the internal, so if there's a large concert on campus that is for the students, or an admitted students day for admissions, I'll help with some of the logistics and planning for that as well.
So what would you say is the most exciting thing about Wagner College? And you can be prejudiced because you love what you do, I'm sure. If you were to promote Wagner College to people, what would you like them to know?
From a student perspective or a community member perspective?
Let's first start as a student perspective.
Just the, I guess, community feeling that you'll get at Wagner College from a student perspective. I was actually a student. That's why I started working in the position. I started as a student at Wagner. And you get to know your faculty. They are very close to you. And you still meet and work with the same students from your freshman year to your senior year. That's from the student perspective. From the community perspective, the actual students are trying to do a lot with the Wagner Staten Island community. Leadership and engagement, it's a department within the college. They do a lot in the Port Richmond community. So just the fact that the Staten Island community can have that relationship with the college students. They're always open to coming to basketball games, football games.
This is a silly question, but is Wagner High School related to Wagner College?
No,
or?
and actually we get that question a lot. We get a lot of phone calls for people saying, oh, I'm trying to reach Wagner High School. And unfortunately, no, Wagner College is not affiliated with Wagner High School.
I suppose that there's a Mr. Wagner that was very famous, and perhaps that's where the name came from, Sharon? Anyone know?
Well, I know that Susan
That's-
Wagner High School, she was actually the wife of a politician. She was
Yes.
not at all related to Wagner College. Wagner College was set up by the Lutheran community.
It actually
By the
started in
Lutheran
Rochester.
community. No kidding. That's
Yes.
very interesting. So it started off religious. So Kira, tell us about some of the functions that have worked out really well, that you got a lot of joy out of.
I
When they rented space at the
enjoy the
college?
events because a lot of people, when they come, I used to be on the other side of events where I was the one coming to a place to plan an event, so I know what it's like to come to somebody and say, I need help doing this.
How is it you had that experience?
So, from previous
In other words, you were a
employment.
space planner or event planner?
Yes.
I see.
But now on this side, I'm on the other end, so I get to help them. So when they come in and they want to have an event, they may not realize that, okay, when you walk in, you need a place to hang your coat. You have to go through the event step by step. So we're able to do that. We're just small enough because I don't have all these different banquet rooms that I can give the personal attention to each group that comes.
What would be the largest group facility, a group event where people can be seated at tables that you can
If
accommodate?
they're going to sit at tables, it really depends if the main dining hall is in effect. The main dining hall is my largest space, but
How many can fit in
I
there?
have to worry about the main dining hall, though, because basically we're a college first, and the students of Wagner come first. So whenever they're in session and they're using the spaces, I have to wait and see pretty much what spaces are left for me to offer.
And if they're available, you rent them out? And
Then
how
I
many
do.
people can fit in that main dining room if they
Main
wanted to
dining
hold?
hall.
I mean, would you say a few hundred or 50?
Oh, yeah.
50.
Excuse me?
Probably around 750.
Around 750
Yeah.
would be a max.
See,
think so.
Caitlin does all the space planning, so she knows more about this.
I've been
That's
at the
true.
college the longest,
Yeah.
so I have a lot of experience with all the little nooks and crannies of the college.
So are there ever weddings held there?
Many years ago they did, but we've kind of been trying to go away from private parties because we don't have the facilities and the services that a lot of the more catering hall type facilities can provide.
So Sharon, what kind of renters do you tend to, that seems to lend itself best to, would you say?
Well, one of our busiest time in a condensed period of time is the summertime, because we have groups who come in from various countries. Most of them are high school students, so represented from Italy, Brazil,
Really?
Russia, this year China.
Do they stay at the college?
They stay at the college. They're high school students. They generally come in as a group. ESL is the courses that they generally take. So they're here for learning the language, but also for the cultural experience and the New York City aspect of it. So that is really the concentration of guests who we have starting. They start to come in June, and by July we're pretty robust with a large amount of guests there. And then throughout they taper off because the college students do start to come back in August, so we have to clear out. But that's what keeps us very busy in the summer. So between those international guests, as well as other groups that Kira can probably speak to a little bit in more detail. The groups, we have the National Hispanic Group that comes in.
And what do they
Kira can
represent?
give you a little more
Basically,
information.
they're the National Hispanic Environmental Council, and they're a group out of Washington, D.C., and it's basically set up to get more Hispanic people into the sciences. So they come in every summer.
Wow, how many students come in on that?
They come in, about 25 of them, and they're here for about a week. And they come in with their microscopes, and they go out taking samples of our soil, and yeah.
How fun is that? Do
It
you
is.
speak Spanish?
I don't.
How many, are you familiar with how many people on the campus are actually bilingual that assist with the team?
That one I am not positive.
The Wagner College students don't participate in that. That is an outside group that comes in. It would probably be a good opportunity for maybe some of those students that were in, I know recently they had an environmental New York class, so they were taking samples of the garden that we have next to our building.
Right.
So it would be a good opportunity, definitely, for the
You,
students. But
you have a garden?
yes.
How big is the garden?
We have everything.
Probably
Would you say?
8 by 8, I would
Yeah.
say 8 foot by 8 foot.
Is it vegetable or
Mostly
flower?
Native plants.
Yeah, native
Native
plants.
to
Yes.
Staten Island. Tell
It's
us
right
about
outside
those,
of our
Kira.
building.
Well, to tell you the truth, it's not our garden.
Well, I was wondering. Everyone was sort of giggling. here.
Well, we laugh because we oversee the garden, and
There's a
we get to
reason
enjoy
for
the
it.
garden.
We're garden
Right.
adjacent.
Yes, you all had that look like the garden.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So it lines up against the property. You've adopted the garden,
So to speak, yes.
so to speak. And so you said there are flowers or produce?
Yeah, there's some flowers. There's also some produce. I think she had some tomato plants in there because you can't have a Staten Island garden without tomatoes.
no.
So
I'm Italian, and I can
yeah,
tell you we need
that's
Italian
right.
tomatoes.
And if you have
Right.
tomatoes, then you
That's
need
true.
basil. So
There
it
you
just
go.
goes from there.
What a fun place to work. How wonderful.
It is, and it's a wonderful group. This is pretty much the whole office, and we all get along, and it's terrific.
What I think is really important to know about our group too in lifelong learning, and really the college as a whole. It's the personal attention that everyone gets when they come to us. You feel like you're family at Wagner College, and I think a lot of people would say that who do visit the campus. But even the programs that we run for the children, for the teens, we just go that extra yard to give that personal attention. All of our kids' programs, I would say 90% of them, end with some kind of a showcase for parents and family and friends, so that it's not that you just send your child or your teen to a class and it's over with and you've paid that tuition bill. We try to go that extra yard. We want to involve the family, the parents. We want them to come back. We want them to feel comfortable. And what's important about that is that the kids do get that comfort feeling. And then you're creating that concept of college at such an early age. And I don't know if you're familiar with the 30,000 Degrees program.
No, tell the viewers all about the 30 Degrees program.
It's really a program where the 3 colleges on Staten Island have partnered with high schools in a program to generate at the end of, I think, 2020, and I may be wrong with my dates, that they want to see 30,000 degrees attained throughout the community. So in order to do that, the colleges are now partnering with the local high schools. Each college, I think, has chosen 2 colleges to work with, 2 high schools, excuse me, to work with directly. And what we're seeing now with that program is the high schools are now moving down into the middle schools and partnering with them. So this whole concept of making it, creating that awareness that college is attainable. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. And so we feel that we partner in that also, and what we do is in that we want to bring the kids to the campus and get them comfortable, get their families comfortable, even for Spanish speaking or whatever your ethnic background is, so that they're comfortable, that they feel that it's something that maybe their parents or their grandparents didn't attend college, but it's not off the table for them. And so we're excited about that.
You're giving back to the community in a really special way,
Yeah,
and in the
so.
educational area in particular, but that's very encouraging to get the local residents involved with the college or the idea of higher education at a very young age.
Yes.
That's what I love hearing about.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
terrific. Do you have something coming up in June you were going to share with the viewers?
We do. I think Caitlin started to mention that when she was talking about our theater program. So we have the theater program, it's called ACT at Wagner College. ACT stands for Actor Children's Theater. And I think we mentioned earlier that we start as young as age 4. We go up to age 17. And it's pretty much a full year program. We have an open house in September. This year it'll be September 17th. We invite anyone to come to the open house to learn about the program, to meet our director and our teachers.
So how much does something like that cost?
For the full year program, a 3-hour program every Saturday, it's a little bit under $2,000.
And what do they come away with from that?
They come away with an opportunity to audition for our show, which is at the end of the school year in June. They work with a choreographer, a professional choreographer, a music director, and a acting coach, and they rotate through those classes.
This is fantastic.
It's a wonderful program, and it's a wonderful group of children and families that are involved in the program.
So it's any age?
Not only
Yes.
just the performance, we have a lot of parents and students who just feel that their self-confidence has been built so much by the program.
Yes.
That is very big for the students these days.
And it's also nice for, do you ever get several members from a family to come in on that?
Oh yeah, we have siblings. We have 2 or 3 students that are in the same family that all perform together. And so the bond that they get from that, just for example, Victoria Russo, she was in our program for the last 5 years, and her brother kept watching her and saying, oh, I really might want to do this. And then her brother started this year with us, so.
I love it, and it must build good relationships, again, bringing people in at a young age to experience the college campus, and
Yes.
then maybe they'd like to attend the college.
Having
when they're-
4-year-olds that say, oh, I want to go to Wagner when I get to be in college, so.
That's fantastic. Crystal, tell me, were there some commercials that were particularly fun or interesting that you worked on, or did I ask you that before? Did we chat about that, or any in
We
particular?
can go a little bit into
Tell me
some of
more.
them.
Yes.
Actually, this summer, Lenovo came, and they came with the whole NFL staff. So we
Wow.
had Odell Beckham, we had Eddie Lacy, Drew Brees. No, not Drew Brees. There's another gentleman.
Matt
horrible.
Forte.
I am horrible with
I don't know the names.
Yeah, you said Odell Beckham.
Odell Beckham, who I don't know who any of these people are, doesn't matter, but the sports enthusiast
Yes.
will.
So they were there all on
NFL.
campus. Yes. It was actually really exciting. They went into the theater. They went to the classrooms.
And they spoke to the people?
Actually, at one point, what gentleman was it? Well,
One of the
anyways,
NFL
one of the
players.
players actually stopped into one of the classrooms, summer classes that were going on,
No.
just to say hi to the
The
students.
students must have went nuts.
They were
Gone
just
nuts.
lining
Must have
up.
gone
Just
nuts.
everyone wanted to shake
They
their
did.
hands. So it was actually a really nice time too.
So that's a lot of fun. You get to run into some interesting people.
It's very interesting characters every now and then.
Well, how did the NFL think to contact the college to film a commercial? I suppose the ad agency?
Actually,
That
the
they use?
location manager is actually, there's this person, and he just goes to every single campus or wherever they're looking for and just talk with the people there and also look at the facilities.
To see if it works.
It was an academic setting that they were
Yes.
looking for. The premise was that it was fantasy and learning about fantasy football, so they were at school
Oh,
for
wait a
fantasy
second.
football.
Wait a second. You mean it wasn't the real NFL? It was fantasy NFL?
It was the real NFL players pretending like they were playing fantasy football and learning how to play.
And the players were actually the professors of the school.
Okay, hold on a second. Who would like to, the four, will speak? We have about just 2 minutes left, but I wanted to know about this fantasy football for those who are not as familiar with it. Who can address it best, do you think?
I can tell you about, I'm the sports police group. So fans of football, they get to pick different players at different positions, and whomever gets the most points, touchdowns, field goals, sacks as a defense, anything like that, whoever gets the most at the end of the weekend, they get the highest points. And so the whole season long, the groups are playing against each other, and whoever has the highest points at the end of the season wins their fantasy football league.
Whoa, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Pastime.
I'm starting to love this college. I think I want to go to this college. I just graduated at 60 years old in August.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, it
That's
was a
wonderful.
lifelong
So you're never
process.
too old.
You're never
Lifelong
too
learning.
old. And,
Lifelong
That's
learning.
right.
Absolutely.
Lifelong
It was most exciting and really a privilege. I actually went to Liberty University, and I started taking some classes around 5-6 years ago, and then more recently I decided I just had to deal with the math. That was holding me back for a long time, but I took a finance class and it worked out. So Sharon,
Great.
is there anything else you would like to share with the viewers, to share about the school? I love that you mentioned it's a family atmosphere.
Yes.
Is there anything else coming up or anything that you'd like to share that's been particularly rewarding for you as an administrator?
As an administrator, it's just very rewarding to work with this team that I have here. And when you work with people who you're so close with, who share your values,
Terrific.
that's the best part of the day.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you, Wagner College, for coming on to the Heart of New York show. It's been a pleasure to have you here. I hope that the viewers will enjoy learning more about the school by going to your website. And we thank you for watching the Heart of New York show on CTV in Staten Island, New York.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, great.
Very
Great
Great.
job.
Thank you.
Everybody